Today, we're going to piece together a hidden family history. It's a story that only starts to unfold after a long life comes to a quiet end. Really, it's about the secrets we all keep and the choices that end up defining us long after we think the story's over.
Let's just start with this quote. I want it to just hang in the air for a second. Because this right here, this is the key that unlocks the entire story. By the end, you'll feel the incredible weight behind these few simple words.
And that quote, it leads us to our central mystery. We're going on a journey to figure out what on earth happened. What choice did a young woman make 60 years ago that sent ripples through her entire life and even into her daughters? All right, part one, a shoebox of secrets. Our whole investigation kicks off with a daughter, her dying mother, and the quiet, almost mundane task of clearing out a house that's just packed with a lifetime of memories. So let's set the scene, shall we? We've got Ellen, a copy editor, and she's taking on the tough job of clearing out her elderly mom Marion's house. It's that sad, practical thing so many of us have to do. But then she finds it, this old shoebox, full of photos. And this little box is the catalyst for everything that follows. So Ellen's going through these pictures with her mom, and she pulls this one out. It's a faded color photo of a man, maybe in his 30s, and he's got this huge, happy smile, like he's looking at someone he loves just off camera. But her mom's reaction, it's strange. She just goes completely silent and still. So of course, Ellen asks, "Who's that?" And Marion's answer is the very first clue that something is being hidden. She just says, "I don't know." And she says it with this flat, final tone. You know, the kind of voice that's meant to slam the door on any more questions. But for Ellen, it does the exact opposite. And that brings us to part two, the letters from James. The mystery is just getting started. Because back at her mom's house, while sorting through closets, Ellen stumbles onto something that's about to blow a secret history wide open. Yep, tucked away in the back of a closet, she finds this box. And inside are bundles and bundles of letters, all tied up with string. I mean, talk about a tangible link to a past her mother desperately tried to bury. So who wrote them? They're all from one man, James Holliday. And as Ellen starts to read, this whole other life emerges. James was a carpenter, and he and her mother Marion were deeply in love. They were planning a future together. And then, bam, out of nowhere, she left for Toronto and told him not to write. But he did anyway. In those first few letters, you can really feel his hope. He's trying to respect her decision, but he's also sure that what they had was too real to just vanish. You can tell, he's just waiting. He thinks she's coming back. But Marion never writes back. Total silence. And as the weeks drag on, you can feel James's hope just souring into confusion and real pain. He starts to wonder if she ever even told her family about him. Were you ashamed of me? I mean, you can just feel his heart breaking on the page. And then, after months, the last letter arrives. And it's a gut punch. He tells her he finished building the house he'd made for them. But now it's just an empty monument to a life that's never going to happen. All his hope is gone. It's just over. Okay, part three, the house not lived in. So Ellen has more than just letters now. She has a name, and she has the story of a house. So her investigation is about to move from the page to a real physical place, a place that represents an entire life her mother left behind. Ellen actually finds the house, the one James built. And seeing it, well, it's like she can suddenly see the two paths her mother was standing between. On one side, there's the life she actually chose, the practical, safe house smelling of bleach and duty. And on the other, this house, built by hand, a symbol of passion, love, and a whole lot of uncertainty. Two houses, two completely different destinies. And inside that house, on a windowsill, Ellen finds this, their initials, carved into the wood, JH plus MF, James Halliday and Marion Fletcher. It's so small, so intimate. It's the final, undeniable proof. This was real. Part 4, a choice born of fear. Okay, so Ellen is now armed with the letters, the house, the initials. She doesn't just have questions anymore, she has evidence. She goes back to her mother one last time to get the truth behind the choice that literally shaped her entire life. And there it is, the answer we started with. When Ellen finally asks her, why,
Why did you leave him? Marion confesses. It wasn't about a lack of love. It was about fear. She was afraid of passion, afraid of being poor, afraid of a life she was trying to escape. She chose security because being safe felt more important than being in love. But wait, the story isn't quite over. Back at the house, Ellen finds one last clue, her mother's private notebook. And it's here, in Marion's own handwriting, that the true painful complexity of her choice is finally revealed. Can you imagine? In her notebook, Marion admits she thinks about James, about that other life. But then she looks at her daughter, at Ellen, and she knows she can't regret it. Because the choice she made out of fear is the only reason Ellen exists. She sacrificed that love for the children she would eventually have. What an impossible trade-off. And now, part 5, what remains of a life. Marion passes away, and you'd think her secrets would be buried with her, but this story has one final, heartbreaking twist, a message from the past that was never delivered. So after her mother's funeral, Ellen actually connects with James's widow, a woman named Margaret. And Margaret gives her this small wooden box that James had made for Marion all those years ago, but he never got the chance to give it to her. And inside, a letter, written before she left, a letter just filled with all his hope and dreams for the future they would never have. It's like finding the prologue to a tragedy after you already know the ending. And finally, part 6, choosing your own story. Because for Ellen, uncovering her mother's past isn't just about understanding what happened back then. It completely changes how she sees her own life, right here, right now. See, Ellen had always judged her mother a little, thinking she just settled. But now she gets it. Her mother made a devastatingly hard choice for reasons that, at the time, felt like survival. And knowing that, it frees Ellen. It gives her the clarity and the courage to make the opposite choice in her own life, to embrace uncertainty, to risk her heart with someone new, and to not let fear be the one driving the car. And that really leaves us with this one big question, doesn't it? Every life is just a collection of choices. Some we make from love, some from fear. We choose security or we choose passion. We stay put or we leave. And every single one of those choices builds our story. So, what are the choices that are building yours?